Duduit.tv. It's 9:29. On the East Coast, it is also Tuesday night, and that means that Dale Duduit has something to share with us. We have his bumper rolling. We have recording turned on. We're streaming in a million directions. And the chat room's waiting too, and so is Dell. So let's start a countdown to Studio 14. Well, good evening and welcome to pjnet.tv. I'm your host, Coach Prasick, and as we approach the new year, a belated Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever your tradition of faith that is important to you. Anyway, this is the greatest job in the world. I get to sit here, and in just a moment, Dale Duduit will appear on the screen right there, and he's going to tell us about, well, this year, 2020, and he's going to I don't think he's a prophet, but he is going to make some prognostications, I guess, maybe, into the new year. Dale, what a year. I think that was the title of your blog, wasn't it? What a year. What?
It's something like that. I'm ready for 2021, I think.
Folks, Dale blogs at DaleDuduit.com. I'll put that address on the screen for you. He blogs every Tuesday. And we get together on Tuesday night, and we kind of start there and go over it, and you never know where it's going to end up. But, Dale, it's always good to have you, and I'm looking forward to 2021. It cannot be much worse, so what's going to be – let's look backwards first. What was so bad about 2020?
Well, for one, I can't see the studio. Are we good?
Oh, I'll fix that. I'm sorry, Dale. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I like to sit in your cozy studio
yeah,
there.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
There we are.
That's how you really look.
I couldn't figure out what was going on there.
It's an inside joke, folks. You'd have to be here to understand it.
Yeah, I got to adjust my camera there a little bit. So
yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I like the studio. It looks good. So what was your question?
2020 for many people, they look back and they're going to remember a lot of bad things. And in your blog, you kind of go over all the bad things that happened. But then you started to put perspective on it. And this is why we're fortunate to have you as part of our team. Because yes, bad things happened, but there's the circumstances are one thing, the God above them is something else. Sometimes these bad circumstances can turn out to be opportunities.
Yeah, and I hope a lot of them do that. I think 2020, the best word that can be described as such a small word was chaos. 2020 was just full of chaos. And very little good things happened as far as national, world scene, national scene. Obviously, if you lived under a rock, you know what you know what I'm talking about. So the world has never seen this, I don't think, to this magnitude, and the confusion, the violence, the destruction, the death, a lot of death this year. Our church just has been through a plethora of people, not from COVID, but just. There's been a lot of death in our church. Like 19 people have died, and
really,
it's been a lot. Yeah, and maybe I'm underestimating that. I think it might have been more, but I know there's been quite a few. So, yeah, I think chaos is the best word to describe 2020. And started out normal, then in April and May just went haywire. People lost their minds. People lost their jobs. People lost their lives. People lost everything. A lot of folks did. Some people came out on top. I think. One thing I think is what's going on. The Congress is taking up now this another relief bill, obviously this package, and I'm not on my high horse and talking. I think this is legitimate. That unless people are helped, the Congress and the Senate, I don't care who you are, they shouldn't receive a dime. But they're sitting back in their homes, bringing in a lot of money from us. We're paying them a lot of money, and what are they going to give us? $600? Really?
Yeah.
I think there ought to be some type of a movement to limit public service. Period. I don't care if you start out at the county level or a township level. 12 years maximum. Period for anybody. If you want to go into public service, 12 years and you're gone. Then you have to go out and get a real job, because I think these lawmakers and legislators are one of the reasons our country is so messed up right now. I think the media is the first reason, the education system is the second reason, and politicians are the third reason. And something needs to be done with that. 12 years and you're done. I don't care what level you're at, a maximum 12 years, and then you have to do something else because the folks have stayed in there for a year. Look what happened to remember Dan Rostenkowski, and you stay in there way too long. The absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah,
and we have Biden's just one example. 50 years in public service. Well, I wouldn't call it public service. 50 years of taking money from taxpayers and the mansions that he lives in. It's just not right. And Democrat, Republican, I don't care. 12 years, you're gone. Because this should not be a career; it's a public service. But anyway, I'm getting off of that.
Let me try something out on you. There's a concept that's well recognized, whether you're a liberal or a progressive or a conservative. It's called eminent domain. If the government decides that they're going to build a highway and you've got some land that's in the way, well, the highway's going to get built.
Yeah, we just went through that here close.
Okay, so but you have to be compensated fairly for your loss. For what they took. All right, well, let's take that same idea and apply it to business. The government orders a shutdown, okay?
Which they can't.
But they did. Let's look at it through that lens of eminent domain, and let's take care of the people who were, the government should have to buy those businesses that were shut down as a result of their orders, whether legal or illegal. Just wanted to try the idea out because I hadn't heard that one.
But that we
ain't gonna happen.
there was a highway built real close to our house in the last couple of years, a great highway, a bypass. But there were some people that we know who said the state came in and says we're taking this land and this is what we're going to give you, and they're like, that's not even close to what it's worth.
Well, here where I live, when they built the Interstate 10, a lot of farmland. And there was one old guy but at least there is a process. You can appeal it. You can get you can get a hearing in a public court. It would just seem fair to compensate the people that your government actions created victims, or I hate to say victims, but you know what I'm saying, if they're adversely impacted, you ought to have to pay their fair market value.
Well, they are. They're giving them $600.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
So-
and all the people that could have bought something from the store, maybe it'd still be open if they'd have done that, a long time ago.
I honestly believe that, and I think this has been like a pimple on getting ready to bust. I think we're seeing the absolute worst in our political servants. That I think this has been years in the making to overthrow freedom. And I'm starting to doubt conservatives. I'm starting to say maybe they're in on this.
Well, there's only 6, as best I can tell. The vote was 92-6 in the Senate.
Yeah, so it's just a disgusting thing that these folks can take their money. They get paid.
They haven't lost any paychecks.
No, they keep coming. So anyway, I don't want to get on politics.
Okay.
Politics used to be a hobby, and now it's just nothing but disgust.
Well,
And,
but here
I saw a post recently from a well-known comedian that said, we're going to have to take this country back the old-fashioned way. And I believe he's right. Yeah, you can take that from what you want, but that only means one thing to me. So we're going to have to take this country back. And there's a reason why I think and if you saw other Facebook posts and Twitter posts, they're shutting down, the churches, the bars, the restaurants. And back in the old 1700s, that's when the Patriots, that's where they met and planned to overthrow. So that's why they shut those down.
There you go.
So, anyway.
All right, but on a more positive note, your blog, obviously people have encountered and in fact endured some bad circumstances this year, but you actually chronicled some of your own circumstances and how you have found some light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe what's bad turned out to be not so bad, or maybe even good.
There's a big mixture of it, I think, and I like to be positive and try to have a good outlook, but not everything's rosy. But I lost my job in April. Didn't talk a whole lot about it. I didn't say struggled. I was doing some things I didn't want to do for months. But I did them. I didn't want to take a hand. I don't want a handout. I wanted to work, and I think the government incentivized people not to work, and I think that was also a plan. Let's keep them cozy in their house. Let's give them a little bit more than they make, and they won't want to go back to work, and that will ruin capitalism because our ultimate goal was to bring on socialism, and capitalism and socialism cannot live together. So I think they want to get rid of capitalism. So I think everybody in government needs to be voted out, everybody, and just start over. So, but yeah, I think people struggle. I know folks. I know 3 people who died from COVID. One man was a year older than I am, in good health. I played basketball with him. In high school, he just passed. We lost one of our county commissioners. We lost a well-known businessman. So it's real. But I mean, they had also had underlying other things, other health issues as well. So, but I've lost. I know 3, 4 people who have died, and what they're not talking about is the skyrocketing suicide rates because of this. There was I don't know the person. They just posted it on Twitter. A young man, 23 years old, can't get home. Girlfriend broke up with him, lost his job. He's hungry, has no money, killed himself. And I think it's a reaction to the chaos that's been brought on. And I think one party, that starts with a D, actually enjoys this. I think that's disgusting. I think they enjoy the destruction that they're witnessing because they laugh and they giggle because it's part of their evil plan. And I'm not just saying that to get rating or whatever. I truly believe it, that they love the destruction that we are all seeing because it keeps them in power. But anyway, so that's how evil they are. So I think there's been a lot of destruction and death and discouragement and a lot of lives ruined. And I try to withstand that, and I think we have a good attitude. We have something to fall back on, obviously, and that's our trust and our faith. And I think people have gotten closer to that. I hope they have. I know some people who've drifted because they just can't believe this is happening. That lives are being taken and lives are being ruined. But in the midst of all that, there is some good things that's happened, and you have to look at that stuff. You have to sit back and say, "Hey, my grandson turned 1," or not in a selfish way, but I was able to launch some books this year that didn't do as well as we'd planned, but they're out there and they can do better next year. So if things open up, so there are some good things that do happen. I've had some meetings recently, and hopefully some good, exciting things are going to happen in 2021. And you just got to keep going. It's hard to do that sometimes, but you just have to keep going.
I think a lot of success has to do with not the hand you're dealt, but how you play the hand you're dealt. And like you said, you've been dealt a hand. You lost your job. Okay, well that means you have time. That means all the things you had on your list saying, I wish I had time to do whatever. Well, now you got the time. Do it. There's even if it's just a project out in the backyard, do it and make the best of it. I think we need to start perhaps looking more to ourselves and each other rather than to the marketplace. We all look for that job. Well, you can start a business.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, and
I know
as well. It was kind of, I don't say it was odd, but I lost my job. I didn't have an income, and then you wonder what you're going to do here and there, and then as time went on, we looked back and we looked back at one point and said, we've got more money in our bank account than we ever have, and it wasn't because we cashed things in or moved things around. But it was just because we did trust and we put faith, and you ask and things open up to you. So at one point we had, I don't say a lot of, we had the biggest amount we've ever had in our bank account. We did the prudent thing with them. We saved some of it back. We paid off some debt, so we don't have a lot of debt now. So that's fantastic. So it's kind of odd that. I don't say odd. It's just remarkable that happened. in a time when I was not employed. So,
Well, but now, in spite of all this, I think it's three. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had Bama Believer, Auburn Believer, and Michigan Believer. 3 books.
3 books about college football.
Yeah, you might as well read about it because.
Well, fortunately, Alabama's plays Friday night for the first round of the college football championship series. So hopefully they'll do well. Hopefully they'll meet Ohio State, and then because I have 2 books out, I can promote both books there. So
there you go.
Yeah. So I hope they do well. I'm rooting for both those teams. So and then fortunately we have a busy year next year, and we're hoping we can get off to a good start. We hope things open up a little bit. It's kind of a double-edged sword, I think, with this vaccine coming out. You're hearing good things, you hear bad things, and you're just going to have to weigh, the pros and cons with it. Whether you're going to, and if, I don't, in my opinion, I believe there will be a mark of the beast. I don't think this is it. I think Scripture tells us very vividly what that's going to be, and if there's any people thinking, is this or isn't this, then it's not. If you have to sit back and question, because Scripture, again, is very vivid, and it tells you what it's going to be. So if that's not it, then in my opinion, it's not. So should you take it? That's up to you. Do I think it's a mark of the beast? No, I don't. But it certainly has some similarities to it. But again, it makes you think. And if it makes you think, it's probably not.
2021 is right around the corner. In fact, this is the last time we'll get together in the year 2020. What a year it's been, looking back on it. But you almost went to Tokyo.
I'm supposed to be back. I'm supposed to go in 2021. We're gonna have the Olympics is right now scheduled. The group we're supposed to go with is right now tentatively going. So hopefully we'll be hitting over there in July for a few weeks, I hope. I mean, I've got the funds raised, and I've got, we are ready. Our passports are updated, so we're looking to go. We'll probably have a meeting on that in January, February. We've got 4 book launches coming out. Hope to expand out over the course of the year. We're excited about that. A couple of book signings we know that we'll be attending down in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I think St. Louis. We're going there. We're going to right now. We'll be going to Right to Publish conference up in Chicago. A couple other conferences, probably Florida again. So we've got some things planned, but the biggest event that I have that supersedes them all is the birth of my third grandchild's second grandson in June. So that's the big event that will happen.
Well, I think you like the grandfather thing because a lot of what I see, a lot of what I see on social media is you're in the capacity of grandpa more so than author or literary agent or sportscaster or you've actually worn quite a few hats this year, Del.
Yeah, so I think it's one of my back of my head's thinning out a little bit. I think so. I've had a lot going on this year. It's been a interesting and intriguing year as far as I've done a lot of things. So, but grandfather is probably the funnest, and they don't yell at you; they just want you to hold them and play with them. So it's a good thing.
In your blog, you say these things, but just asking it openly, why, in the midst of all this chaos, should people have hope?
You'll die if you don't. You'll just wither up and die. If you have no hope, you have no reason, then why do anything really? If I don't have hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day, today was a good day, tomorrow's going to be a better day. It may not be, but I hope it is. And I hope I get to see my grandson and granddaughter that we saw just a little bit ago. May not, but I hope I see him the next day. So. And we will encounter tragedy. We will. Everybody does. We will encounter difficult times. Everybody does. My life is not hunky dory. It's not a perfect life. I had somebody text me the other day, "You have the best life." I said, "Well, thank you. You have no idea what I go through." So it's just. But I don't. I don't broadcast. I don't broadcast my problems. Everybody has them. I have them. You have them. So it's just how you deal with them. And if I came on here every Tuesday and talked about my problems, and I don't think a lot of people would be tuning in. So you tune in to say, and it's not false hope. I don't like false hope. I can tell the difference when somebody gives you false hope, and real hope. So you have to have hope, and you have to have encouragement and inspiration. And if you don't, then why get out of bed? Really, why do anything if you don't have hope? So if you have to have it, yeah, and hope is found. I gather my hope in the mornings, and Angie does too. We have a little quiet time, and I do my little devotion. She does hers. And I think it gives you hope. And some people may laugh at that and giggle at that, but they're probably the people who don't have hope and who get discouraged. So discouragement, disappointments they are going to happen. There's just no doubt about it. It's just how you handle it and how you approach it. It's hard to overcome. I know a friend of mine that we know pretty well, kind of always is not a smart aleck, but he's always kind of commenting on things he shouldn't comment on. And we were with him one time, and he gets up. We were in the hospital going to visit somebody, and a lady gets on. Elevator just looked horrible, and he says, "Cheer up, things could be better." And she says, "My son just died." And so, sometimes it's best not to comment. You have no idea what's going on. So, for that person at that time, it didn't have much hope. But you let the grieving process and the discouragement happen. You got to give it its due respect, but you can't let it win.
I just got my hair cut today, Dell, and this year brought on something new for you. You began doing your own hair. Any plans on making any changes there, Dale?
No, I think last couple of times I've gone over. Deb's opened up her shop, so it's just right down the road. So she can touch up my mistakes. But I did it, I think 3 times. Got my money's worth. The clippers cost me $20, so I saved a total of $40. So it was a win for me.
Yeah, you can do it. You said you had some book signings in the future. How are book signing? Are they still being done?
Now this year they weren't. The one we were going to go to, it was up in, I think, Delaware. It didn't happen. So there were at these book show events. The one I'll be going to right now, scheduled tentatively, is in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's in I think March, February or March. I got to get the dates on that. But it's called the Christian Product Expo, CPE, and a lot of Christian bookstores, booksellers will come in and from all over the country, and it's just a book show. What's coming out? What's new? What can they? Yeah. And so a lot of I think Iron Stream Media and New Hope will probably have me come down because I'll be launching Dugout Devotions 2 in March, and so. We'll be signing copies to these bookstores or booksellers, and giving them some copies, and hopefully they'll order some and put them in their stores. So it's a little bit of PR, a little bit of fun times. So you're networking a little bit. So then we'll probably go to the one in St. Louis when Dugout First Down Devotions launches in August. So that'll be about the same time frame. So we'll be going there to convince them to order the book, or encourage them to.
Hate to stoke up this one, but from the chat room.
Oh, yeah.
What if every American spent 100% of their stimulus money on guns, ammo, pitchforks, tar, and feathers?
That's a great. Is that JD? It's got to be.
Actually, it was Gina. She saw a tweet.
Okay, I probably saw the same thing. It was a picture of your stimulus check at $600, and it was a gun store, and I totally agree. Hey, every time I go by this one gun shop, about a half hour from me, I stop in and ask them if they have certain ammo, and they typically have 9mm, so I'll buy one.
Right.
And so I'm stocking up, and I'm waiting for the 357s to come back out, but they haven't seen any of those lately. But that's a really good investment. Use that $600. Buy it however you want to buy it. If somehow I think my dog may have scratched off all of my serial numbers on my guns by accident. So
Well, spring, it's a dead of winter, but
yes,
I'm just thinking self-sufficiency.
yes.
Try and do something new next year. Grow a garden.
Yeah,
Grow a garden.
that's
Grow your own
awesome.
food.
I've done that, and I need to do it again. I got out of it when our kids were in like little league, and so I was coaching two teams, and living at the ballpark. Was trying to we get home at 10 o'clock at night, then you got to get the beans out. So you're up to 2 or 3 in the morning, canning beans, and it's like I was like, yeah, this is not going to work anymore. So I got out of it, but then just never got back into it. Now my father-in-law and my sister-in-law, they do a garden, so we eat their stuff. So
Yeah, and we have, or it was really my in-laws, a lemon tree. The problem with lemon trees is they start producing lemons, and there aren't
Yeah.
enough people to give them to. I mean, what do you
No.
need? Why do you need this many lemons?
no,
You know,
I love lemonade. That's my favorite beverage. Is a good wintertime, summertime. So I don't care. I go to a restaurant. I typically order lemonade.
Really?
I just like it. That or coffee. So lemonade's my favorite, and I could drink it every day. So send your lemons up here.
I could, and we literally can't give them away fast enough. So the same is true of gardening, and a lot of people grow tomatoes, and again they start bearing fruit. All of a sudden, the birds are everywhere, and you used to enjoy watching the birds and listening to them. Now that their song has a different ring to it,
Yeah,
get out of my
you're right.
maters.
Yeah, really. So so yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great hobby as well. And
Or write a book.
yeah, it's easy. So I'm probably going to start one in the early next year. Again, I've been off for a couple of months of writing, so I need to settle the horse back up maybe, and because I got 4 coming out next year. I think 2 maybe in 2022. So I've got to start that ball rolling again. So I've taken a little break because I actually needed it, and tried a couple of different venues. But yeah, to write a book, start blogging, do a podcast. Everybody else is.
Yeah, do something. Yeah, try something new.
Yeah, I'll be launching a podcast here pretty soon.
I was going to say there's some news that you'll have in the near future.
Yeah.
And when you are ready to share that, I'm sure you will not tell us right away. You'll tease it one week and then tell us the next. But that's the way the business
You got to
works.
create the excitement,
That's the way the business works,
the
folks.
buzz. I guess create the buzz. So.
You got it. Well, Dale, I appreciate you sharing in your blog some inspiration, some hope, and some real raw experience. Because it sucks. It's been a chaotic year, but
Yeah, I think one of the key takeaways is don't take things for granted. I mean, it's so easy to.
there you go.
My friend who passed, I'm sure he didn't take things for granted, but it's easy to. He was healthy one day, then a couple weeks later he's dead.
Mhm.
So if you have somebody that you haven't told you love them, tell them.
Yeah.
Don't assume they're going to be there. Our county commissioner died pretty quickly. He's requested prayer on like a Sunday, and he was dead on Thursday.
Mhm.
So it's that. So don't take things for granted. I think that's one of just exactly what you said. Stop putting off things. If you start a garden, do something different. I keep hearing from people, I've been meaning to write a book. Well, shut up and do it. Just do the thing.
Yeah.
Stop planning it. Just do it.
Well,
I mean, that's not
the
crass, but
procrastination has always been a topic that I've loved to harp on.
Yeah.
But now more than ever, can you see, folks, putting things off is a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just. There's nothing wrong with being scared. Just do it, and
Everybody's
make sure you're in shape in all conditions, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I got my
that's the
pull-up
most
bar for
important.
Christmas. My daughter got me a pull-up bar. I hadn't put it up yet, but we're going to get serious here.
I got some bullets. So
You're going back to the gym next year, right?
I just got back like 10 minutes ago. So
Oh,
50
good for
minutes
you.
ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been going regularly, so we went the other night. So
Okay.
we
Well,
just ate a
the
lot more
gym
cookies.
is real crowded, right around January.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
It thins out by February or by March. None of those people are there. The ones that are going to quit before March comes around. But Well, Dale, we look forward to hearing from you in 2021, and
Yeah.
we're all no, we're not all in this together. We are counting on each other, okay,
We
to
have
get
to.
through this. But we may be in it together on different ships, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
we're in the same storm. So, well, Dale,
Well,
appreciate.
happy New Year to everybody out there. Thanks for being out there in the chat room. We really appreciate you taking a little bit of time.
It's a great place to be. Dale, appreciate you sharing. We'll see you about this time next week.
See you next year.
Yeah, that's right, next year. Folks, that was Dale Didway right here on pjnet.tv. I know we went a little long, but, we only have one guest. I want to call attention and do a shout out, actually, for Barbara. Perhaps you were in our chat room before Dale came on the air, before the program, and you noticed some inspirational videos. And I'm glad she did that, because one of the things that you can look forward to in 2021 is more inspiration, more actual heartwarming stories of people who are out there that we want to bring out the good in people. So we want to put the spotlight on that as a lighting a candle of encouragement, but also as a challenge, because if somebody can do that, then so can we. Maybe it is you. Maybe you'll be next on the program. Find some way to serve selflessly. And let's put it right there. Tell your story. But we look forward to a more inspiring, more cheerful, more heartwarming, more challenging 2021 than ever. But for now, I leave you with two questions. It's a challenge that I always give. Two questions. One, what is the boldest thing that you've ever done for Jesus Christ? And number two, when was that? Maybe will it be in 2021? Regardless, I hope that none of us will be satisfied with either answer.